Hey, ALANNIS,
Yes,
do you like sequels to slashers?
I do.
Well, this one's just for you and everyone else that likes sequels to slashers.
Boy.
At least this time you didn't. At least this time you didn't expect it all for yourself, mate. Well, another episode. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ranked and Reviewed. This series, we're doing all the Halloween movies leading up to the final installment called Halloween Ends, dropping October 13th. Now, before we get into our review, the old rigmarole, I am your host, TOMYE West. Joining me as always is my co-host, ALANNIS MAXIMUS.
Hello.
And here we're today to talk about Halloween 2, which was released in 1981. Now, before we get into our thoughts and everything like that, please subscribe, like, and share. Leave a comment, because if you leave a comment, it makes you feel good, which makes us feel good, which makes us feel good, which makes you feel good. And that's the deal, isn't that right, Alan?
Yes. Good. Is good.
Awesome. Now, with that, we're going to get into what we thought about Halloween 2. And I'm going to let ALANNIS take the stage. ALANNIS, what did you think?
I enjoyed this movie a lot more than the last one. But before I get too deep into it, it tripped me out and I missed it in the first movie. The killings in the first movie are on Orange Grove. I live on Orange Grove. And around the corner from me is Elm Street. So
Yeah.
I'm coming to you live from the Hellmouth.
And dude, I've known this for a long time. I remember like driving through Bayswater all the time, being like, Elm Street. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. But with that, you know what? I'm probably gonna have to blur out the fact that I just said Bayswater, because everyone's gonna be like Orange Grove, Bayswater, and then fucking come and fuck you up or some shit about your fucking thoughts on a movie or some shit.
My thoughts on Batman and Robin.
Yeah. No, the Batman. Potato sack vampire man.
Ah, yes.
All right, so what we thought about this movie, ALANNIS, take the stage.
It was a lot closer to what I enjoy, especially from my 80s cheesy old horror movies. Body count, blood, boobs. It's what I want when I'm watching an old horror movie.
Yeah, I've just got a couple of little lines that I want to say to you, because you don't know what death is. And then, I shot him 6 times! I shot him 6 times! I shot him 6 times! Just non-stop.
That guy, Loomis was more irritating in this movie, I found. Like, I don't know if it's because there's more of him or just his dialogue and his acting was just. I don't know what happened in those 3 years, but his performance just wasn't as good this time.
One thing I'm going to say to start off with, the first thing that we see in the movie is a recap from what happened in the previous Halloween. Now, I thought this was completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're going to go see Halloween 2, surely you saw Halloween 1. And if you haven't seen Halloween 1 and you go see Halloween 2, then eat dicks and you forget about the recap, because you probably should have seen the first one. Because it annoyed me that you get into it and then it's like, straight away, it's basically like the last 5 minutes or whatever of the movie is like, go over to the Mackenzie's house or whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, the shooting of him falling out the fucking balcony and all that stuff. And it's just like, move on, But what I will say quickly is what I like is after all that, and it's the part when Loomis is like, I shot him 6 times. And it's like from the perspective of Michael sort of like watching from a distance and stuff. Yeah. I really like that stalking the neighborhood scene, because when I went and saw Halloween Kills, that flashback to the 70s that we got at the start, I feel like is exactly what they were trying to. They sort of were mimicking that section of Halloween 2 that we just watched, But changing it up from the first night, like, you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say there? Like, I feel like, because when I went and saw Halloween Kills and the 1970 bit hit, like, it's so well done and so well shot, and like the contrast, the blurriness, sort of, it all looks so authentically 70s, and I feel like they were trying to kind of imitate the beginning of this movie with the stalking and all that, and him walking around the neighborhood. Do you feel that as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really like that. And yeah, give us some other thoughts.
What else did I really like about this? I liked. I think it flowed better. Wasn't an hour of kind of stalking and build up to kind of overstayed its welcome into 20 minutes of killing and horror. It was more consistently just Michael's here, a little bit of stalking. Then I really dug the old people when he goes into their house and he takes the knife.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
And the blood left there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And homage to Night of the Living Dead, who's obviously George Romer is also another pioneer of horror as we have it. Like, he pretty much defined zombie movies. It was cool to see him even as an influence back then.
Now, what's your opinion on The Mask?
I'm surprised they changed it up a little bit, considering it was supposed to be a continuation.
They didn't change it.
Really? I
Here's
thought
a
it
little-
looked a little.
It looks different. It looks different. Here's the fact. The fact is, this mask is the same one that was used in the first movie. It was stored under Deborah Hill's bed. Deborah Hill is co-producer, very involved in the Halloween series. It was stored under her bed, and when they decided to make a sequel, she pulled it out, and it had discolored and kind of changed shape. And she swears to God that this is the same mask, but it looks like shit in this movie. I really don't like the way the mask looks in this. It almost looks like it's fatter.
Yeah, it looks kind of round in the face.
Yeah, but apparently it's the same mask. And yeah, some other interesting little facts about this. Deborah Hill wanted to make this movie. John Carpenter did not want to make this movie whatsoever, which is why he wrote the script for it, I believe, or worked with Deborah Hill with the script a little bit. So I think something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. Put it on the comments, whatever. But John Carpenter, to this day, hates this movie. Hates it.
Really?
Yeah, because the movie he wrote with Halloween in the original time, it's not like a gory slasher body count thing. It was about the stalker and then the sort of kills at the end. And he felt like this was like more exploitation, more violence for the sake of violence, you know, kind of getting in the way of like telling a good story. You know what I mean? But he wrote this movie. He cashed in on it, but apparently he hates this movie. It was directed by Rick Rosenthal, who got the chance to direct this, and for some reason he chose to come back and direct Halloween Resurrection.
Smooth move.
Yeah. And sort of the other things that are the scene that made me die of laughter, man, is the imposter Michael Myers. Because
what was that cop doing?
going like 80 miles per hour in a back street on Halloween when there's kids trick-or-treating, and fucking runs into him and just crushes him, and then it just blows up, and it's like, what the fuck, man? And, man, Michael Myers does not walk that quick ever. Second of all, he's carrying a bag of candy. And the other thing about it is, I don't know if you put this together. This takes place on the same night as the original Halloween. How in the fuck did this guy have the exact same outfit as Michael Myers? Like, dude, this costume that Michael Myers wears, he put it together himself. Like, overalls, mask, bought it from the fucking hardware store and shit. And then in Halloween 2, there's some other dude wearing the exact same outfit, but it took place on the same night. So, what a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, that was silly. And interesting fact about the guy who was ran over and killed. You know who that is?
I do not know.
Do you remember the name Ben Tramer?
I remember that name.
From the first movie, who Laurie Strode wants to go on a date with.
Oh, really?
That's meant to be Ben Tramer, bro. Now, some of you might be asking how I know so many facts about this movie. I'm going to plug something here. Everyone, go download. I'm going to look it up quickly. Go download these. Go buy the book if you don't want to buy the book because you don't like reading, just like me, and you want to listen to audiobooks. Go in and download. So I'm just trying to find it. I think it's on Audible. Library. Taking Shape. Now, Taking Shape is written by Dustin McNeil, Travis Mullins. Now, this is. I'm trying to work out. Play. I'm trying to get this back. So this is a book that goes for 3 hours and 50. No, okay. So there's Taking Shape 1 and 2, and I'm telling you guys, if you really like the Halloween lore, the world, everything it's set in, and you like the movies and you're interested in how they made these movies and things, download Taking Shape and Taking Shape 2 because they're books that go into literally every aspect of every Halloween movie. It's fascinating. I was listening to these books for like days in the car and shit. There's also a lot about unmade Halloween movies and ones that were pitched that were horrible and things. So they're really fucking good. So I suggest everyone go to Audible or go to a bookshop or order it off eBay and buy Taking Shape and read into it because there are facts out the arse for Halloween, and it's not only interesting, but it sucks you in to the point that you don't want to stop listening. So everyone that wants more facts and interesting topic stuff about Halloween, go download those books. Now, talk about some other things that you liked about it before I get into some more issues and stuff that I have.
I think, mainly the body count. I actually looked it up because I was like, a lot of people died in this movie, more than I remember dying. But it was, I think, 9. As you said, there's some moments that are just ridiculous, like that cop killing the imposter Michael Myers. It's just so terribly 80s horror, and the fact that it explodes when he just crashes, like, what car does that?
And I also believe that part where he's like, I shot him 6 times. I believe that's an error because if you go back and watch how many shots were done, I think it was 5. So, yeah. But another bit that I think was funny, the hot tub bit.
Yeah.
Apparently that water was fucking freezing while they were filming it. And the ambulance guy hitting on Laurie in the hospital is the biggest fucking creep.
Oh, yeah.
So weird. And one other little thing, this is later towards the end of the movie. These are just notes that I took down. The way Michael gets shot in the eyes and the blood comes from the eyes, and then he starts doing the sort of like aimless
swinging
with the knife. I really like that part of the movie. Yeah. That's really cool. So yeah, like with this, I definitely think it's better than the first, in my opinion. As I said, I know the first is loved dearly by horror fans and movie fans alike, but I think that that's more liked by a lot of the people that watched that for the first time when it was out new or grew up watching it and had love for that movie because, as I said, like in our review for Halloween 1, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. We're not saying it's a bad movie. We're not saying we hated it, but we are saying that growing up in the time and era that me and ALANNIS grew up, this movie is very dated and if you didn't have love for it at the start and saw it when it was kind of just new, or witnessed the sort of genre change that they, lifting this genre up like the way they did, I don't think it's as easy to show love and respect for it as something like this, which is something I'm more accustomed to with the Halloween movies, which is a lot more like body count, a lot more violence, a lot more Michael Myers stabbing and doing what he does, So I like this movie just because I find it a lot more entertaining to watch than three girls walk around a neighborhood for fucking half a movie, And as we said, listen, a lot of people out there are going to say, you guys are completely wrong. Halloween 1 is the best one. And I can completely see where you're coming from. But personally, for me and ALANNIS, I think that this movie does top it.
Definitely.
What did you think about Jamie Lee Curtis's return as Laurie Strode and how they tackled her sort of being in a hospital the entire time and that sort of thing?
It wasn't too bad. I like that she wasn't central for it because she's iconic, but also she doesn't do heaps for me in these movies. Like I think she's a bit overrated.
Exactly, man. We talked about this last time too, which is that we just think she doesn't deserve as much of the scream. Like, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Neve Campbell either, but like I love her in Scream, and I think she deserves like the Scream Queen moniker way more than I think that Jamie Lee Curtis does. I mean, look, Jamie Lee Curtis's performances as Laurie Strode do sort of like get better. Even in like Halloween H2O, like she's really good. Resurrection, she was in it for like 30 seconds and it sucked. And she's been great in the requels, So I'm not saying she's bad, but I'm saying that she got this like clout of being a Scream Queen, like the Scream Queen after the first movie was done, and I just don't see that in that performance. I think it's
definitely not. No,
it's super dry. You know what I mean? The other standout moments I like in this is the POV shots of just Michael's point of view, the way those cinematography was filmed, and as I said, when I went and saw Halloween Kills and the '70s flashback happened, I was like, wait, is this old or is this like them reshooting it and making it look '70s? Because I swore that it was like I've seen this, and that's what I thought was. And I realized that watching Halloween 2 again, that those moments of him stalking at the start is what I was like, I've seen this.
Remember,
and I think Halloween Kills nailed it. Like Halloween Kills nailed that tone, that look, the contrast in the cinematography and all that, the sort of fogginess and all that. I think it really is cool. There's some weird decisions too, like Michael Myers walking through the city, like the town, and then bumps into the dude or whatever with like the boombox, and he's just like, sorry, kind of thing, keeps walking. Like, I find it weird that like he's all about killing people, but then so in this series at the start, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are not related in these movies. These are like they are completely separate. They're nothing. Like that came along later, and what I find weird is that in the first movie, he was asphyxiated like on these like 3 or 4 people, and he killed whoever he had to at the end to get to the girl or whatever. But in the second movie, I feel like he got the knife, walked around town, found his way to the hospital just to get Laurie Strode, and I never understood why that is. Like, why isn't he killing people on the way? Like the guy with the boombox. Like, why wouldn't he just be like, "Fuck you"? If like that was what he wanted to do. So, do you like feel the same about that? Like, why is it that he's like only interested in going after Laurie really in this movie?
Yeah, it is interesting. It's and it leaves the old people alone as well. Like that whole bit, I'm like, oh, they're fucked. But
like when you look at Halloween Kills and there's fucking those old couple, and then he's like stabs her through the neck with the like fluorescent light and all that, and then like tests out knives on the dude's back and shit, and then it's like, and then Halloween 2, he's just like, yep, see you later, I'm busy, I'm going to catch Laurie. You know what I mean? Like,
the knife.
Yeah, so it's super weird. But as I said, I like this movie a lot more. I find it hilarious that when Michael Myers gets blown up at the end, and it's sort of like it's ending and it's showing him burning on the ground, how it's just like bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, you know. I think I read that the Haddonfield hospital that it shot at was actually not sure. Don't hold me to account. It was either a mental asylum or I think it was a mental asylum turned into a hospital. I'm gonna quickly double check that. So I'm just trying to find if I can find anything on this. Oh, well, this is an interesting fact. Halloween 2 was originally written to take place in a high-rise apartment building. Later in script meetings, however, the setting was changed to Haddonfield Hospital. Trying to find anything about this because it's interesting. But also, I know there's a lot of like, I feel like it was almost like a old wives' tale or whatever. Like the whole, be careful, you get razor blades in your candy on Halloween. But like, they just showed us that this kid's just bleeding out the mouth with a fucking razor blade in there. I'm trying to see. I can't see anything. The exterior hospital scenes shot with Dick Warlock as the Shape were shot at Morningside Hospital in Los Angeles. The exterior hospital scenes were shot at Morningside Hospital. And I believe one of them may have been a mental asylum, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I can't find it here. And one other thing, Alan, what do you think IMDb has this rated at?
I'm gonna say
not an IMDb rating. I mean, it's like it's like PG-13. Like, what do you think it would be listed as?
for its time, I'll probably say by American ratings, maybe R.
All right, I'm going to share my screen with you because you're going to be fucking blown away by this because I have never seen this in my entire life. Yeah, which is, can you see at the top there how it says? Wait, I'll zoom in a little bit if I can. No, it's not letting me. Okay, I'll just tell you. It is fucking rated X.
What?
X. How? What? X.
That's porn.
Exactly. That's what I thought. And there's no way that this movie was like any worse than an R.
Yeah.
X. Like, for X, I would have expected to see Michael Myers fucking Laurie Strode. But yeah, I kind of thought the whole letting him blow up, get set on fire was a weird decision because as if there wasn't going to be more, you know. But I guess they kind of did think that this would be the last one, considering what the next one we are going to be reviewing is, which is Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers' Season of the Witch. And you know what? As much as I've heard it's a good movie and it's a Halloween favorite for people, and if this didn't have the name Halloween, it would have been like a Halloween classic. I'm still not looking forward to watching this next movie. What about you?
Yeah. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, also, one other thing. What did you think about Jamie Lee Curtis's terrible wig?
Oh yeah,
Terrible.
It was off-putting.
Definitely. So, anything else you want to bring up that you thought was decent about it? You know, anything you didn't like about it?
It was interesting because it's like they upped the body count in that. I'm not sure when the first Friday the 13th came out, but I know that Michael Myers inspired Jason Voorhees. It's almost like this shift in Halloween was in turn inspired by Friday the 13th. Because it felt a lot closer to what Friday the 13th did.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm really excited for Halloween 4 because I really dig Halloween 4. It's done well, you know what I mean? So I can't wait for Halloween 4. My closing thoughts on this movie is sort of I think it's good. I think you should definitely watch it if you're a Halloween fan. I'd rate it over the first one, obviously. But I would also say that if you haven't watched the first one, don't watch the second one, even though the first one isn't that good. Oh, well, in my opinion, it's not as good as the second. You still need the first one to kind of get the idea of what occurred and how it's continuing on the same night. You know what I mean?
Recap, I think recapped that much.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, the recap was pointless. You should have just seen the fucking first movie, and if you didn't, well, get lost in it then. You know what I mean? So, all right. With our closing thoughts, though, out of 5, what would you give this?
I think I would give this a solid 4. It's not the perfect movie, but it was good. I liked it.
I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I enjoyed it. Some cheesiness here and there, but I think they really did a good job. Some of the hospital people were just sleazebags and shit. It was super weird.
They're all pretty shitty people. Like.
Yeah, they were, man. They were all shitty people. So, yeah, I mean, definitely better than the first. So, with that, I'm obviously going to ask you, where are you ranking this? I'm guessing it's first over the last one.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, the only problem is with that, I cannot currently find the ranking chart to change. So, in the edit, I will throw that over the top for everyone. It'll come up now.
Woo! We can't see me doing this because it's here.
Blue.
What I was actually doing for the people listening is
forget about it. So, everyone, definitely check out our last review of Halloween 1978. Check out our future ones and see where we rank these, because I'm sure these are gonna this rank and review series is gonna be one that's basically me to ball out, because I'm sure there are gonna be movies that ALANNIS hates and I don't mind, and movies that I love, ALANNIS hates. It's gonna be fun, you know.
yes.
I both know that me and you are both probably gonna hate Resurrection. You said you were concerned about H2O, but I'm telling you, man, that movie is better than you remember.
Excellent. That gives me hope.
Now, everyone, again, thank you for watching this episode of Ranked and Reviewed for Halloween 2. Remember, each week, up until the release of Halloween ends, we are reviewing a Halloween movie every week. And this week, you're getting double episodes of Ranked and Reviewed up until the end of the other series we're doing, which is we are starting the Predator series this week. So this will be up, and then Predator will go up, and we are going to try and get the Predator ones done, if it means we have to do a couple of them in 1 week, by the release of Prey, when it hits on August 5th or 4th?
5th, I think is right.
Yeah, and I think Beavis and Butthead is 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're also going to be doing a series review of Beavis and Butthead when it comes to Paramount on not on August 4th, because we're going to be watching it, but as soon as we finish the series, we're going to be doing that too. Also, Louder Pop Culture Podcast right now is just on a little hiatus, as we have some retooling and some new things we're doing, and we're bringing on some help with someone that's going to help us maximize that show to its best potential. And we can't wait to hopefully bring you a better quality show, and yeah, keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we head out, ALANNIS?
No. It is all wrapped together nicely.
I'm just going to say one thing to finish it out, and that is, you don't know what death is.
I shot him 6
I
times.
shot him 6 times. All right, everyone, and please send your regards to Ben Tramer. All the guy was doing was trying to trick or treat. Suddenly, coincidentally dressed like Michael Myers, and look, we've all been there. We've all coincidentally been dressed as, fucking Ted Bundy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get hit by cop cars and explode all the time. Happened to me today.
Man,
Blew up.
I always get hit by cop cars. I just don't. I don't blow up.
You haven't lived then. You're not doing it right.
No. I'm gonna start blowing up. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Remember next week, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and our Predator review as well this week. Get to the chopper, ALANNIS. Go, chopper! Fuck. All right. I'm your host, TOMYE West, as always. Joining me, as always, is my voluptuous, lovely, friendly, amazing co-host, ALANNIS Maximus. Give it up for ALANNIS Maximus.
I'll clap for myself.
And, again, everyone, thank you for watching Halloween Ranked Reviewed, Halloween 2. Subscribe, like, and share. Leave a comment, because if you leave a comment, it makes you feel good, which makes us feel good, which makes you feel good again, it makes us feel good again. And that's the deal, isn't it, ALANNIS?
It's correct. The circle of good.
The circle of good. And we're going to end this episode just like Ben Tramer. I don't know how I can make an explosion, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and the episode ends when does it end, ALANNIS?
No!
No, get to the chopper!